It is 3 o'clock in the morning on the open ocean. Inside the bridge of a commercial vessel, it is pitch black. A single officer stands in the dark, watching the cold glow of instrument panels. When the ship's master retires to his cabin for the night, the complete operational safety of the vessel transfers entirely to this individual, the officer of the watch. In an instant, they become legally responsible for maintaining a safe trajectory for a $100 million asset, massive quantities of cargo, and every human life aboard. For 4 uninterrupted hours, they will guide this enormous floating fortress through shifting weather fronts, narrow shipping lanes, and coastal hazards, often without speaking a single word to another human being. At this hour, the ocean is a secondary hazard. The primary threat to the vessel is the grinding biological reality of the pilot's own accumulated physical exhaustion. The maritime industry relies on a traditional engineering solution to keep platforms operating permanently, a cyclical routine known as the watch system. It is a strict 4-on, 8-off rotation. This diagram shows a 24-hour circular timeline breaking down the rigid 3-officer rotation schedule. An officer works 4 hours on active duty, followed by 8 hours off, over and over again. This mathematical cycle dictates their life for months at a time, spanning every weekend, every public holiday, and every missed birthday. Human physiology evolved for sunrise and sunset, and this rotation ignores both. Notice the severe drop in the curve here. Sleep scientists call this the circadian low, a natural trough in alertness that hits precisely during the graveyard watch. Reaction times slow and microsleeps intrude exactly when the risk is highest. To address this fatigue, the International Maritime Organization enforces minimum rest hours. Under the STCW convention, a seafarer must receive at least 10 hours of rest in any 24-hour period. However, the regulations contain an uncomfortable loophole. Those 10 hours of rest can be legally split into 2 parts, so long as one segment is at least 6 hours long. That means a watchkeeper can spend an entire 6-month contract receiving a maximum of 6 uninterrupted hours of sleep per night. The paperwork aligns perfectly with international law. The official timesheet shows full compliance, yet the human being actively navigating the ship remains functionally exhausted. To navigate safely through the mental fog, the modern bridge resembles an aircraft cockpit, equipped with a highly sophisticated suite of electronic systems. This radar interface shows the foundational navigation tools in action. The electronic chart display and automatic radar plotting aid automatically acquire contacts. They calculate the exact speed, course, and predicted path of every nearby vessel in real time. Simultaneously, the Automatic Identification System, or AIS, assigns identity to these anonymous dots, broadcasting exactly who the surrounding ships are and where they intend to go. The screens offer a flawless stream of data, but interpreting that data and recognizing a developing threat still requires an alert, engaged human mind. When 2 massive commercial vessels converge in darkness at a combined closing speed of 40 knots, the data on those glowing screens must be instantly translated into action. This diagram shows 2 distinct vessel shapes on a converging path, governed by the strict legal code known as the Coal Regs. These international rules assign clear roles. The giveaway vessel is legally required to take early, substantial action to stay clear, while the stand-on vessel holds the right-of-way. The stand-on vessel is required to rigorously maintain her present course and speed. Clarity saves lives at sea. If the stand-on vessel abruptly alters course while the giveaway vessel maneuvers, a routine passing becomes a catastrophic mid-ocean collision. Executing these protocols correctly at 4 in the morning in poor visibility demands supreme cognitive clarity. The ocean forces these split-second decisions onto chronically exhausted human beings. This highly automated environment creates a dangerous paradox. Over a long contract, extreme automation quietly breeds profound complacency. Watchkeepers gradually learn to trust the digital illusion of safety over their own situational awareness. The sinking of the SS El Faro in 2015 provides a thoroughly documented case study of this cognitive breakdown. Investigators found that the ship's officers were suffering from severe cumulative sleep debt, deeply impairing their ability to process rapidly deteriorating weather data. The junior officers correctly identified the track of Hurricane Joaquin. However, strict maritime hierarchies led them to use mitigated speech. Rather than issuing a direct warning to alter course, they framed the hazard as a deferential suggestion. They hinted, they did not demand. To combat this kind of passive monitoring, ships are mandated to use the Bridge Navigational Watch Alarm System, or BNWAS. It physically requires the officer to acknowledge a dormant control panel every few minutes, triggering a cascade of alarms to wake the captain if they fail to press the button. All 33 crew members of the El Faro were lost. The human safety framework collapsed under tradition and fatigue long before a mechanical system failed. It is now 4 o'clock in the morning. The radar contact passes safely astern. Out the forward windows, the absolute blackness finally breaks into the faint gray light of dawn. The heavy door to the bridge opens. The relief officer steps into the room. The operational burden is verbally passed. The logbook is signed, and the watch is complete. Right now, this exact 4-hour cycle of endurance is repeating on tens of thousands of vessels across the globe. Almost every physical object inside your home arrived there because a solitary watchkeeper successfully fought sleep in the middle of a dark ocean, on a night when they had every biological reason to close their eyes. We know who navigates these massive floating fortresses, but the safe arrival of the vessel is only half the equation. What moves across the oceans of the world every single day, completely invisible to the people who depend on it? Next, we will open the massive hydraulic hatches, descend into the cellular holds, and find out exactly what these